Hi, in this video, we are going to discuss about electric current or current electricity. The question is, what do you mean by electric current and which type of the charges flows through the wire when we connect it to the circuit? To know this answer, you have to watch my video till the end. Before going to the class, please subscribe my channel, like, share and comment on my video. So, let's start our class. Take a battery, bulb, a copper wire and a switch. Connect the end of the copper wire to the terminal of the battery and other end connect it to the wire through the switch. Now switch on and observe. What you observe is we see that the bulb will be glow. Now remove the battery and connect the wires and again switch on. Now does the bulb glow? Yes, you are right, bulb do not glow. Now your inside of the copper wire, take the nylon wires and connect the nylon wires to the battery and bulb through a switch and switch on. Does the bulb glow? Yes, your answer is right. Bulb do not glow. In first situation, we have the battery, bulb, and wire. We know that battery is a source of energy, and battery store the chemical energy, and the bulb will change the electric energy into chemical energy. Now, copper wires are responsible to carry the charge or transfer the charge from the source of the energy, that is a battery, to bulb. Then the bulb will be glow. In second situation, there is no source of the charge, source of the energy. So battery do not glow. In third situation, we have the battery and a wire also. But this time, these wire are not capable to transfer the energy. From these, we conclude that the material is play important role to carry the charges or transfer the charges, and a material which is transfer the energy from the battery to bulb we call conductor. A material which is do not transfer the energy from the battery to bulb we call insulator or non-conductor. And we know that the conductors are made up of metal, and metal has a lot of free charges, whereas nylon wires or insulator has a less amount of the free charges. We can simply say that metal has sufficient amount of the charges to carry the energy, and insulators doesn't has a sufficient amount of the charges to carry the energy from the source to bulb. So this is a difference between the conductors and insulators. We know that most of the conductors are the metals, and the metal is made up of the atoms, and we know that atoms are consist of the electron, proton and neutrons. The center of the atom we call nucleus. It is consist of proton and neutron, and the electrons revolve around the nucleus. The protons fix to their locations we call lattice. These positive charges fixed to their locations we call lattice, and the electrons are revolve around this nucleus. During the revolution, due to the attraction force between the negative charge and positive charge particles, maybe they change their nucleus. So the electrons are in random in motion. Let's consider a conductor. This is a conductor, and these are the positive charges fixed to their locations we call lattice. In lattice space, electrons revolve around these charges, and then the electron in random in motion. The electrons are in random in motion. So they in random in motion. So during this revolution, let's consider a small cross section area. This is a cross section area. Okay, cross section area. The number of charges cross the cross section area from the left to right in 1 second equal to the number of charges cross the cross section area right to left in 1 second. Both are equal only. The number of charges LHS and RHS left hand side to right hand side. Let's consider there are the 10 charges cross the cross section area left to right at the same time. The 10 charges cross the cross section area from the right to left. Both are same only at the same time. So this from this we can say that the net charge through the any cross section area is zero. That means here the net charge across the wire is zero. Now what happen if we connect this conductor to the battery? If we connect this conductor to a battery, if we connect the conductor to the battery, then electric field set up through the conductor. Electric field set off through the conductor. If an electric field set up through the conductor, and this electric field is responsible to order motion of the charges. Now the charges will be move only one direction. So we call order motion of the charge. Now from this we clearly conclude that the electrons are the responsible to carry the energy from the source, that is a battery, to the bulb, and this electric field is responsible to make the charges in order motion. The question is what is the direction of the electric field and the direction of the electrons. The direction of the electron is always opposite to the direction of the electric field. The direction of electron is always opposite to the direction of the electric field. Let's consider this is an electron which is moves in this direction. Okay, therefore the electric field will be in this direction. Okay, and remember here the electric field always from the positive to negative, and the electrons always move from the negative terminal to positive terminal. So this is the direction of the electron, and this is the direction of the electric field. If there is a motion in a conductor, then we call flow of the charges, and this flow of the charge we call electric current. The flow of charge per second is called electric current, or we simply say that the rate of the charge is called electric current. What is the rate? What does mean in rate? The rate is nothing but per time, per second, per unit time. So the number of charges, that is number of charges q by time t. This is we call electric current, and charges is denoted by letter q, and current is denoted by letter I, and time t is time. So the number of charges cross the cross section area in 1 second is called electric current, or simply the rate of charges flows through the conductor is called electric current. Now here, what is unit of electric current? So we can write the unit of electric current from the formula. We know that the unit of charge is coulomb, and time is second. So coulomb per second is a unit of current, and this is equal to ampere. So ampere is unit of current, SI unit of current. The SI unit of current is ampere, and this is denoted by letter A. Letter A. Okay. From this formula, Q. What is the Q here? Q is magnitude of the charge. So we can write the Q equal to NE, that is Q equal to N into electron, that is the magnitude of the electron, charge of the electron, charge of the electron. N is number of the electron. For example, we have the small y, then how can we find the charge of the electron? If we know the number of the charges in there, that small wire, and if we know the charge of the electron, we can calculate the magnitude of the that small piece of the wire. For example, we have the thousand of the charges, and we know the magnitude of the electron, charge of the electron. The charge of the electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Minus 19 coulomb. From this we can simply say that n number of, if we have the 1000 charges, so 1000 into this value we get the answer. The question is how many electrons are present in the 1 coulomb of the charge. It's very simply from Q equal to NE, N equal to Q by E. We know that Q is 1 coulomb by the magnitude of electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 is equal to 1 by 1.6 into 10 power 19, and is equal to 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons. So 1 coulomb of charge has a 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons. That means here there are 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons cross the cross section area or flow through the conductor in 1 second. And this we call 1 ampere current. If you like my video, please do subscribe, like and comment. Thank you.